Mike with It's Pittsfield Tonight. I'm going to jump right into it, and I want to start with our Pittsfield restaurants. So, for one, many of you have probably seen a lot of the restaurant ads that I've been running for our local Pittsfield restaurants. And for one, I want to thank all the people that donated to the GoFundMe, which is still pinned at the top of the page, but all the people that donated to that, a chunk of that is what I use to boost and do these videos. So for those of you that don't know what that means, when you have a business page or an organization page through Facebook, if Facebook basically lets you reach about 7% of your followers for free. And if you want to get things to where they're showing up in people's news feeds, you have to boost them to reach people. So a big portion of the funds, I put about 20 to 25 bucks usually behind each of these videos for our local restaurants that are offering takeout and delivery right now, to make sure that they're getting seen and to help support our local restaurants. So a big thank you again to everyone that contributed to that. That's how I'm able to do this. And on that topic, as many of you know, a little over a week ago, I think it was a little over a week ago, maybe 10 days or so ago, the mayor issued a ban on indoor dining in Pittsfield restaurants right now, which has caused a huge commotion with a lot of our restaurant owners, because this is not a statewide mandate or even countywide. This is something the mayor did. So where a lot of the restaurant owners are very upset is you can still drive to Dalton or Lanesboro or Lee or Cheshire or here or there, outside of Pittsfield, and go and eat a meal and have indoor dining. Not in Pittsfield, though. So that's what's got a lot of them upset. And granted, we have seen a spike in COVID cases. A lot of people knew that was coming as the cold weather set in. But there were certain incidents that this was linked to. And I don't want to get into the specifics of that, because even though I was sent photographs and video and about a particular restaurant in Pittsfield, I don't want to get into that right now. I'm hoping that this gets brought up at the city council meeting this week, because I think the city knows where these cases that came from restaurants, where exactly they came from. I mean, they're saying they're doing contact tracing, so I think they know where that came from. And by punishing all our restaurant owners, it doesn't make any sense. If this was a state mandate or a county-wide mandate, it would put everyone on the same playing field. But what's happening here, again, is you can go to Dalton, you can go to Lanesboro, you can go to Lee, you can go to all these other towns, and you can still have indoor dining. So it is just hurting our Pittsfield restaurants. And they were giving little to no notice when the mayor issued this ban. And a lot of them had just ordered inventory for that weekend and the week ahead. They were scrambling to save their inventory. They had to lay off staff again at a time when they're struggling tremendously. And I know she mentioned we have this program that will give an additional up to $5,000. That's not going to do much for a business. And a lot of them, so what's $5,000 going to do? Get them through a day or two? So I don't know. Support your local businesses. I think it's horrible they're going through this. That's why I'm really pushing those videos. Support them. Order takeout. Order delivery for the ones that are offering it. Support them, because, we are starting, when we hear about these vaccines, it looks like there's light at the end of the tunnel. And in the near future, whether it be 2, 3, 6 months ahead, whatever it is, it looks like we're going to be coming out of this nightmare pandemic we've been in. And if you want your local restaurants still there, we have to support them now. They need us now more than ever, or they won't be there for us. I can't imagine. I mean, the money that they usually have to make during the summer and fall season to get through the dead season of January, February, and March, well, they didn't make that money. So, and now they're shut down again right now during the holidays, which is, I imagine, Thanksgiving to Christmas is a big time for local restaurants, and they're getting crushed right now. So please support them. Order takeout and delivery, please. I can't stress that enough. And call your city councilors. Voice your opinion on this. Remember, they work for you. I know the mayor likes to think they're stars and celebrities, but they're not. They're public servants that you pay for. So call your city councilors. Call City Hall. Hopefully someone's there to answer the phone. I don't know how that works. I know City Hall's closed to the public again. They've basically been closed all year, although none of them got laid off. But anyway, not that I'm suggesting we should be laying off people, but it just sucks that I feel for a lot of the business owners I've talked to. But call and voice your opinion. Really. Their numbers are public. Just go to cityofpittsfield.org and pull up your city councilor's number and call them. So another thing I want to talk about that I mentioned in the last video was the flags from the Flags of Honor at Park Square that the Kiwanis Club does every year. And this year they had added a thin blue line flag and I think a thin red line flag, for one supporting the police department, one supporting the fire department. And it caused a controversy with certain people in the community. Drew Herzig, who is, I believe he's the chair of the Human Rights Committee. He's also on the Police Advisory Board or something, whatever we call it. He's on that committee. And he said that the thin blue line flag represented white supremacy, which I'd never heard of that before, because the thin blue line flag's been around since like the 1950s. And I think its origins go back much farther than that, but it was really started being used heavily in this country in the 50s and up. And it's usually just to support your police officers. And I thought it was a good thing that the Kiwanis included that, just with everything going on in the country. And our PPD tries so hard. I mean, they really have tried very hard the past few years to engage even more with the public and build a good relationship. And when you see something like that, it hurts. Because I went up there yesterday and I couldn't find the flags, so I think they were removed. Unless they're hiding them somewhere in there, they weren't where they were, and I did not see them. So I believe they were removed. And that's too bad. It really is. I know one person on the last video I did, I said, comment, I'd love to hear why you think this or that. And this individual commented that he wanted to see police abolished, prisons abolished. And I kind of got his point. I'd love to see that too. I'd love to see all crime go away, money that grows on trees. I'm a photographer. I'm out in the woods a lot. I'd like to see the deer like animated like they are in a Disney movie, and they could actually talk to me. That would be fun. Everyone wants to see a perfect world, but you have to have laws. And you have to have people that enforce them. And unfortunately, there's opportunists out there that will take advantage of people. It's just, that's a big part of the criminal element. It's not all just poor people trying to survive, as some people insinuate. There's criminals out there. I mean, look at Bernie Madoff. He wasn't a poor person. What drove him to embezzle billions of dollars? Some people will commit crime. They see opportunity and they go for it. And that's why you have to have laws. You have to have people that enforce them from every level, from the low-level street criminal up to somebody like a Bernie Madoff who's involved in finance and is embezzling funds and misuse of funds. People will commit crimes, and you have to have laws. And if you're going to have laws, you have to have people that enforce them. Police officers in a community like ours, they live here, they have families, they shop here, they're part of the community like all of us. And on top of it, they give a little bit extra. Our police officers are some of the lower paid officers in the state. And it's a very difficult job. Crime, under this administration especially, every year crime gets worse. Every year we have more murders, more violent crime, more theft. It's not good. It's not been good. And it's a very difficult job for our police officers. So That's why it hurt me so much to see that flag go. I didn't think it represented anything negative. I thought it was a way for the community to rally around the police and for the police to rally around the community. Get to know them. They're human beings. There are a lot of good men and women on the police department that care about our community. They're not there to be tyrants. And look, anything that involves humans, you're going to have somebody bad. That happens in everything. If people are involved in something, you can believe that somewhere something will go wrong, but you don't go after the whole organization because of that. There's been teachers that have done inappropriate things in the history of teaching. Do you say we need to abolish the schools? Do we need to get rid of teachers because some teachers were the wrong people? I mean, it happens. You have to have that check and balance in there. And you try to catch it as quickly as you can and weed that out. But you don't go after the organization. Support your police. I do. I think it's important. And I was just sad to see that flag go. Another thing I want to mention real briefly before I wrap it up is December 1st zoning board meeting. Again, this is going back to what was the cell tower situation. And I know there's been different opinions on this. I support this organization pushing for changing the rules on how that works, changing the rules with notification, where abutters get certified letters that it's when it's affecting a neighborhood like that. I support all that, and other communities have done this. If you don't want to see big commercial industrial projects like that plopped right in the middle of a neighborhood, or at least where the residents should have a right to voice their opinion and be involved and engaged in the process, then support them. So call up. It's December 1st. It's a ZBA meeting. Voice your opinion on that if you support them. Because really what that, in my opinion, is about is these people found out one day as construction vehicles were going by their house that what is going on, and they had to start to make a bunch of phone calls to find out, I guess there's a big cell tower going in our neighborhood, and nobody told us. And, people, some of them had just bought houses and moved there, and they didn't know that, and they invested. They're taxpayers. They invest in the community. So if you are concerned about that, please tune into that. It's the December 1st zoning board meeting. So that's it for now. Support your restaurants. I'm going to continue to run those videos. Call your city councilors. Voice your concerns on that if you have them. Hopefully you do. It's a shame to see this happening to our restaurants and seeing the traffic at restaurants and other communities. And I'm not knocking those restaurants, but it's a shame to see our Pittsfield restaurants get punished the way they are. And tune into this city council meeting. Again, there's some things I want to bring up, but I'm going to wait to see if they're brought up at the council meeting. And that's it. So that's it for now. I'll have another video out Wednesday talking about that and back on the situation with what's happening at the former St. Joseph High School, which is our homeless shelter right now, and a few other very important topics. So everyone stay safe, wear your mask, keep your distance, wash your hands, do things the right way, and hopefully we'll be out of this in the next few months and we can go back to some sort of normal life again. So, all right, for the second or third time, that is it for now, and I'll catch you all on Wednesday.